What's going on, watchers? Will here with another Godzilla Kong video for you, and today we are talking about, well, Godzilla. Specifically, is Godzilla overpowered? Now, in a quick Google search according to Kaiju Command, an interesting name, if you organize the win-loss tie into a ratio across all of his Japanese versus films where he fights a main villain, excluding Shin Godzilla, his record comes to 42 wins, 7 losses, and 9 ties. So of all the fights he's had across 26 different films, he's won 6 times more than he's lost. Now, that's not to say he has never been defeated before. We know this, we can see this. But even if you turn to the comics, it has taken ridiculous circumstances to take Godzilla down, and even when he's gone, another kind of ends up taking his place. For example, I've used the story Godzilla in Hell in the past, and in that story, Godzilla gets picked down to the bone by Hellbats, only to become a new Hellbatzilla that goes on to defeat the Guardian. The parental Godzilla that had a heart attack meltdown from Godzilla vs. Destoroyah inevitably died in what the government was trying to prevent, and what happened? From his ashes, his son came back alive and fully matured. Even Zilla, who some call the Geno, Godzilla in name only, managed to not only be succeeded by a child, but also was brought back as Cyber Godzilla in the animated spin-off. He died again, but Junior still lived on. In looking back, Shin Godzilla and the original Godzilla were some of the biggest losses Godzilla has taken, and those were both times he was actually beaten by humans. So, looking at his pretty consistent abilities, we have the atomic breath, the spiral heat ray, the nuclear pulse, high durability, incredible physical strength, including the occasional bout of martial arts, an amphibious nature, decent intelligence, energy absorption, and just for the emphasis of it all, flight. Yeah, I'd say Godzilla lives up to his title as King of the Monsters. Any fight he is in, I will bet on him more than likely, even if he's fighting Mothra, who holds the most W's against him when compared to all the other monsters. I think the thing is that when we go to a Godzilla film, we see him as the protagonist despite there being prominent and very active human characters. His name is in the title, so it makes sense we would be more invested in what he's doing. At the same time, he's usually shown as either a force of nature, just doing what nature does, or as an anti-hero who inadvertently becomes the continuous savior of Japan, and in some cases, the world. We end up rooting for Godzilla a lot of the time, even if he does create wanton destruction, and in some cases where he is straight up the villain because we love the character. So, looking at all of his insane abilities, I would say, yes, Godzilla is a smidge overpowered, but in a way that seems earned. Godzilla generally doesn't Deus Ex Machina his way out of fights to my recollection. He kinda reminds me of Goku in some regards, but much older and way more nuclear. We have our base form with its durability and the atomic breath, but if things get tough, he'll absorb that energy and go to Kaioken Kamehameha and whip out that spiral ray. He also isn't beyond getting help if he realizes it'll keep something he's concerned about alive, like tag team with Mothra in Final Wars to save the planet, but in the end, he's still the coolest King Kaiju we have, and there's a reason his franchise has survived over 50 years with multiple reboots. Actually, reboots don't hurt either. But let me know down in the comments below if you think that Godzilla is overpowered or not. And don't forget to like and subscribe to Hybrid Network. I'm Will, and I'll catch you later.